Today's episode of the Nateland podcast is brought to you by The Perfect Gene and Butcher Box. Hello, folks, and hey, Bear, welcome to the Nateland podcast. I'm Nate Bargatze, Brian Bates, Aaron Weber, Dusty Slay.
All right.
Everybody's back.
Everybody's back. Back at it. We went to Disney last week, and because it rained on us, so that we ended up we stayed until I was able to get back.
Can you still do stuff at Disney when it's raining?
Yeah, it wasn't like it wasn't fun. It's like you get wet after hours. It's not like it's just a downpour. It just does not let up.
Yeah.
You just ride the Haunted Mansion a lot.
Yeah.
That's indoors.
Yeah. Or the Epcot.
Sorry.
What's the Epcot? I thought Epcot was the name of the place.
I think it's the big
Man, my voice.
big golf ball.
Oh, yeah, the big golf ball thing.
We're a minute and a half
I'm all right. Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
No, man, it's just been kind of beat up on the road. I'm home this week. So that's what it is. But yeah, it was we had a good time. And my niece and nephew came and they have not been. And so it was just fun. It was like Disney is super fun. My nephew wants to ride everything. And you do realize, like, because we didn't go to Universal. He's been to Universal, he's just never been to Disney or the other stuff. There's just not a ton of, like, for someone that's into riding all crazy roller coasters.
At Disney?
I mean, not crazy. Space Mountain.
Okay.
This is Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
You like roller coasters? That's what you're saying? You're really into that?
I don't know if I rode them because he wants to ride them.
Oh, okay.
But I used to. Yeah, I do. I don't mind roller coasters, but I don't go. But if I don't ride them, I'm fine not riding them.
Yeah, I always felt like Disney was not the real ride place.
Yeah.
Six Flags was the ride place.
Yeah.
A little bit of danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Six
did.
Flags.
Well, they did Epcot. They did. Went to Animal Kingdom. They have the Everest roller coaster. I mean, there's roller coasters in different things of the park, but it's still like the most fun. But I mean, yeah, you need to kind of. Once a kid gets a little bit older, you kind of need them to, like, Disney's, like, I think fun for younger, and then it's just probably that.
How old's your nephew?
9.
Oh, it's probably a perfect age, right? Yeah.
No, it is. He loves it,
yeah.
but he also wants to ride every scare. He wants everything to be scary, and
he's trying to ride, and he's not that into Donald Duck these days.
Yeah. Well, even like Space Mountain's scary because it's inside. They have Tron. They have a new ride, Tron. Like we hit it all up. But it was Tron. The Tron ride is unreal, and that one is wild.
Oh, it looks like you're sitting on a Peloton.
Yeah. That ride is very crazy. Yeah, it's like I said, like Six Flags.
Yeah.
So you need to, like, that's where it's like 8 roller coasters that are just a drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mind Bender, the Georgia Cyclone, the Scream Machine. Those were the big ones when I was going. The Viper. You remember?
Yeah.
You remember any of those? I don't know if you guys went to.
I remember the Scream Machine. I didn't go. I was a coward. I showed up and was too afraid to go on anything. But I watched my siblings do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Viper was the one you're sitting still and then it just takes off, like just out of nowhere. And then you do a loop, go up, come back down, do another loop real fast.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty wild though. Strikes twice. That's what I
the
call
ones
it, the Viper.
that shoot you out are always like it's because it's the that stuff gets like. But once you get going, it's very fun.
That first little climb though is really it builds it up,
dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you just know I couldn't stop now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say you can't get out. Nothing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, I don't want to get out.
I want to get out the whole time.
No, I mean I want to get out the whole time, but you're also like you want your thing to you pull it down and you're just like,
Well, that's true. You don't want to fall out.
yeah.
What about you used to work at liked the one here, right? What was it? Opryland?
Yeah.
I remember coming here, I rode the Hangman.
Yeah.
That was a pretty wild one.
One of the last ones they added before they closed.
Hangman.
Yeah.
Would y'all call it Hangman?
Hangman, yeah. I think that's a Hangman's Noose. I think that's what you call it.
A hangman?
A hangman, yeah.
Sounds like
we call it the
last
hangman.
name, Hangman.
This is one where your feet are dangling off this thing. Oh,
yeah,
man.
it was great. That was like one of the last ones that they put in. That was kind of that was crazy.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, and you call that Hangman? Hangman.
The Hangman. It's one word, I think. The Hangman.
Hangman. So if you play Hangman,
I don't know if you. I feel like that you do say Hangman because that's that's what that game's called, Hangman. Because you're really trying to hang a man in that game.
Yeah. This is.
Looks like here.
Well, you're not trying to hang
noose.
anyone though. You just you're riding.
Yeah.
Why does that change how you say the word?
Well, I think it's descriptive of what's going on.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
hang.
And then you put a little T at the end. That's how I like to do it. Yeah.
Hangman. He got called out for that last week.
And I still don't
in the
get it.
comments,
I still don't hear, like, people keep saying I say a T after good, but I'm like, I say that's called a
Good.
D at the end. Good. I just pronounce all the letters.
Well,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
hit it right just now, but
Good.
it was 5 seconds ago. I heard it.
Even that time was just a little.
Yeah, but that's the D at the end. Good.
Duh. But the D is the duh, and
How do you guys say it?
good?
I say
Yeah.
it, like it's spelled.
Say it
for sure.
again.
Good.
Good. Oh, you go good every time.
Every time.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
Yeah.
That's how I say it.
You italicize it.
Good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The that's like Nateland. Sometimes people they say Nateland,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, well, it's not. I always think Nateland.
Yeah. But then they'll say, well, it's not Cleveland, it's Cleveland.
Nate. Oh, okay.
I mean, I think it's Nateland, but that's the point they'll make. Some places are pronounced.
We do that in
Yeah,
the South, though,
Cleveland.
with Ville,
Louisville. Yeah.
Cookville.
Louisville.
Yeah. Well, Louisville's its own thing, but
No, but I'm looking at it as like two words, Nateland.
yeah, but it's one word, right?
Yeah, but that's what he's saying with that.
But Nateland is weird.
Nateland
But
is
that-
weird.
Hangman,
Yeah.
I feel like that. I feel like that has a flow to it. But I'm watching the Nateland podcast. Doesn't feel right.
That doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it sounds
but I mean,
crazy.
the Hangman sounds like a family. The Hangman family,
Yeah,
and
maybe that's what we thought it was.
Yeah.
Just a family. We didn't realize it was so violent.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
a family
didn't
ride.
I'm
see
just
that
riding with the
poster.
Hangmans.
Yeah,
You go, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we got a picture. Me and my mom wrote it.
Mm.
That was great. I loved Opryland.
yeah.
I went to Opry Mills yesterday. I have vertigo kind of now. And I got on the carousel with my daughter and I was like, whoa.
Mm.
So I don't think I can do any rides now.
Yeah.
The carousel was wild to me.
You just got vertigo, like kind of.
Well, I had it, like it hit me
Yeah.
real bad one time.
It's like where you can't stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I feel like sometimes I just get like a little dizzy.
What is it like? Is that what it feels? Jason Day, the golfer, had it where he had to stop playing. He couldn't even walk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a move that you can do, a maneuver. So, and that works.
What is it?
Yeah, what is it?
Well, you need a person really, but you sit on the bed.
We got one.
You sit.
Aaron?
Well, I'm not dizzy right now, but
Oh.
you sit on the bed and then you kind of go backwards with your head leaning off the back, and then turn it, and then turn it, but tilt it down a little bit for about 30 seconds, and then tilt, and then you roll your whole body over that way
Yeah.
and stay like that, and that's supposed to balance you out.
Is it like all your blood gets back to the? It's all
Well,
just
they
wiggly,
say
woggly?
there's these crystals in your ear. And
Yeah.
That's what people say, and that they need to get balanced back out. That's what my chiropractor said. And then I was telling you guys about it on the podcast. And then some guy emailed saying, oh, you got to go see a real doctor. And then he was telling me what it was. And I was like, well, that's exactly what my chiropractor just said.
Mhm.
So maybe don't be so aggressive towards the guy.
And so, does it solve it for good, or just solves it in the moment that it's happening?
Yeah, I don't know why it starts, and I don't think anybody really knows. So I don't know that you can solve it for good.
Did you bang your head like?
Well,
trying
I'm
to get all
sure.
the crystals all evened out.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they say there's just like we all have crystals in our ears.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Do you have a lot of copper in the ground? Because that could cause it.
is that right?
He buried his copper in his yard. I forgot why is it?
Well, it's, to collect energy from the air.
Oh, yeah.
For the plants.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I had such a great garden this year.
All right.
What do they call it? Electroculture.
Okay.
That's cool.
I don't think that's what caused the vertigo, or else all my family would have it. And then we would be like, all right, we got to do something about what's going on around here.
Yeah.
The first time I experienced it was in Salt Lake City, and I thought that it was like
the
altitude sickness.
Yeah.
But it's wild. And then the next time it was right before I had a baby. We were in bed, and my wife was like, I think I'm going into labor. And I jumped up and was like ready to go. I mean, I was packing up, ready to go. And she goes, oh no, I think it's okay. So then I laid back down, and then next day I woke up, I had vertigo.
You blame her.
She blames herself. I didn't blame her.
Yeah.
She said she thinks it was stress related.
Yeah.
You stressed out about anything now?
I don't ever think I'm stressed, but maybe my body just handles it in a different way.
I always think that too. I don't ever think I'm stressed. But then it's like, well, I have to be stressed.
Yeah.
I don't think I like saying it.
I think just going on stage has got to be stressful.
Yeah.
Well, I got full on white hair now. And the girl cutting my hair was like, you've been stressed out a bunch? And I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I have full on white hair all on the sides of my head.
Oh, like mine?
Yeah, not as pronounced as yours, but it's it's there.
You're gonna be there.
Oh, I'm getting there quicker than you did.
Full on white hair, not as bad as yours. It's not Santa Claus.
Mine was going white. Mine's been going gray quick, like the sides are. It's all just white.
Yeah, and it's like you're going on stage. I mean, you're going on stage in front of thousands of people, but it's like. I did a bunch of shows this weekend, and it's like they're all sold out. You're like, I want these all to be good. I want people have paid money to come and see these shows. I want them to be good now. And I don't feel nervous, but maybe this is manifesting somewhere else in my body.
How do you feel right now?
I feel good. I had a little more coffee than I needed to have.
Yeah.
But, and I got soap in my eyes earlier, but other than that, I feel great.
Yeah.
That's just regular day stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I think coffee is, I've not been smoking cigars, and I think coffee is jacking me up now. But
I thought about, I have a big one right there. But I thought about caffeine too, because it's probably not good. Nothing's probably good.
No.
It really isn't.
And especially, I don't know if that's what's in that cup, but Starbucks is particularly strong, where it's like, geez, like, do I need that much? I just want like some regular coffee that still tastes good. But Starbucks is so strong. It's
I think
control.
people were on so much caffeine that it almost feels like it doesn't work. And your body's just like in a constant state of like, like going.
Yep.
But then you feel tired.
Then you crash. Yeah.
Yeah. But you can like feel tired, but you can't go, like, you can close your eyes and you can tell your body wants to go to sleep.
Yes.
But but you just can't.
Totally.
And I like, that has to be.
Yeah. Cause you drink caffeine late at night, right?
I have, like, if I eat, I don't drink coffee, but I have a Diet Coke for dinner.
If I have coffee after 5, I can't hardly sleep.
5 p.m.
Yeah.
What time are you trying to go to bed? 7?
It's not early.
Yeah.
I felt it this morning. I woke up at 2:45 this morning for a flight. That's a tough time to set on your alarm clock. And you get back to the hotel at 11. And you're like, I got to wake up at 2:45. But I woke up. I drank a Celsius. I drank an energy drink. Just I needed to. Dude.
Yeah.
And then I got the rental car. And then I got to the airport. And then I got a cup of coffee on the flight. And then I wanted to go to bed. And I just closed my eyes, but I was wide awake.
Yeah.
The whole flight. It's not good.
Did you sleep with your clothes on?
No, you told me that trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to pretend like it's a little
You got
nap.
in bed at 11?
I didn't fall asleep till maybe midnight.
Yeah. Yeah, you just go in there. Because then you go in there, have everything on, just take a nap, and watch TV. So you're not like forcing yourself to go to sleep. You're like, I'm going to just watch some TV, relax. You look at it as more relaxing.
Okay.
and then you're gonna fall asleep a little bit, and your alarm goes
just
off.
Lie to your body, trick it a little bit.
Yeah, you're instead of, because you're now going right when you get in bed, you're like, we got to go to sleep now.
Yeah.
I know you have a podcast. You have a lot of stuff going on today.
What kind of clothes are you wearing to the airport?
That probably.
I'm wearing this exact outfit pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different shirt. I changed shirts for the podcast. Got dressed up.
But you're not like a sweatpant guy.
No, I never want to be one of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like.
I feel like a slob.
Yeah, when I see people at the airport in like pajamas, I'm like, what's going on?
Slides and like a neck pillow hanging off.
Yeah, and maybe they don't fly a lot, but I would think that would be even more reason to dress up for the occasion.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I don't know. I just feel like we're about to get on this state-of-the-art equipment to fly across the country. This is an event.
Yeah.
We just
it used to be an event.
Yeah.
But now it's like, yeah. I mean, now you have like Spirit Airlines, and you have where they're just fighting each other. Like they get. I mean, you maybe need to be loose because you're gonna have to.
That could be.
Like you get on a plane, and you're like, we're about to have to throw down.
Yeah. I mean, that could be. I saw a Spirit Airline video the other day. The guy was like threatening the guy taking the tickets. Like, you won't let me on this plane. And I was like, geez, like that's the last guy I want on the plane. The guy strong arming the ticket taker.
Yeah.
I had a show in West Virginia this weekend. I think it's the first time I've ever been to West Virginia. It was a corporate. And my flight out of Nashville was at 6:10 Friday morning, and it was late taking off, which usually that early flight is safe, but they had some issues, and I missed my connection in Charlotte, and I had to rent a car and drive from Charlotte to West Virginia.
Yeah,
How far was that?
It's like 5 hours.
That's a beautiful drive, though, isn't it?
It was raining the whole time.
Yeah.
There's always some issues
on your inside and outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The tears coming down my eyes.
Yeah.
As I'm driving.
It's always some issue like, oh, the guys put in too much washer fluid and now we just got to take a little bit of it out. And it's like, why are you not putting the right amount in?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't say what it was, but I'm like, it's been here all morning. Like, what? The check engine light come on when you started it up?
That's what I'm saying.
You got to wrap your head around that. People are just not good workers, and they're just a lot of not good workers. It really is, and you don't think it can be. You think like I was thinking about this weekend. Like, is it like professionalism is kind of going away? It's being professional. So no matter what you're doing, it's even if you're waiting tables, you just be a professional to that customer. And like that's all kind of going away, where you go in and we tried to get coffee at this place on the road, and it was like they closed at 4. It's 3:45. So 2 people asked they were gonna have to make another pot, and it's like but you could just feel where we just read the room that they did not want to make this more coffee, and they're having conversations out loud about, well, should we make it for them or do we not want to make where you're like, this is uncomfortable, and it's like, well, your thing says you close at 4. I know it's 3:45. We didn't really realize, but it's not that you're trying to go into a place late and do this, but you're just like kind of like, I don't think y'all could do this in a way that's not in front of us.
Yeah. When I worked in restaurants, it was like I was all about that. Oh, 3:45, you guys close at 15. I'm not going to go in. But now it's like, no, you close at 4. Like I'm here before you close.
Yeah, I get the frustration of it, but it makes, when I worked in it, if they're about to close, I wouldn't go in because I don't want to feel the pressure of them on me.
Right.
And so I would do it like that. But it is true. If I owned a restaurant, I would be like, we're open till 4. Like, or you're not going to be successful,
What you want, like, you don't want to like go, I'm going to get this coffee for here and we're going to hang out.
There's
for
a difference
hour.
between a coffee to go and let me get a table and have a meal right here.
Yeah.
Exactly. But even if they come in, that like, it's not on them.
No,
it's not on you have hours on the door.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean, you could say our kitchens are like, we close at 5, our kitchen closes at 3:30 or 4:30, right? Do something like that, where then you just walk in, the kitchen actually closes at 4:30. Sorry, and then or what? If you're trying to do something.
Yeah, we got some stuff still left under the heat lamp if you want that.
Yeah.
But yeah, professionalism is.
I took a page out of Dusty's book this weekend. I have a minivan that hasn't run in 3 years, and it's been sitting in my driveway. And I've been promising that I'll get it towed for 3 years, and I just never do. I was like, I'm finally going to do it this weekend. So I call a towing service in Nashville, and the guy answers, and I go, "Hey, I have this, this minivan that doesn't move. I was wondering if you could just tow it and get it out of the way of the driveway." And the guy goes, "I mean, what kind of driveway are we talking?"
Yeah.
And I go, "You know what? I'm good, man." The way he said it annoyed me so much. I'm not calling like a guy who doesn't tow trucks.
Yeah.
I'm calling, you're a tow company.
Yeah.
I love
the
that.
whole thing just made me so mad. I go, "I'm good." He was like, "What?" I go, "Yeah, I'm all right." And hung up.
I love that.
And then, I didn't find anybody else to call, but I'll find somebody else.
3 years from now.
3 more
years
years.
from
I'll get that minivan out of
It
there.
is good.
The
I
same
mean,
guy.
it's like those places should just go out of business, and people just got to go. There is a weird people don't want to work. People don't want there's professionalism is kind of dying, and it's dying in a lot of ways. It's dying in in just a lot of stuff. I think even entertainment into food service into a doctor's it's just there's just not this. It's too loosey goosey. Everybody's too dressed down and too this. And I can say I'm part of it.
Yeah,
but
we're also a comedy podcast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, but we even if we can do this, but you have to have the professionalism of what you're putting out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at the airport though, I always think about that. Just the way people are dressed. Not everybody, but I'm like, when I see like pajama pants, it really does bother me. Where I'm like, what?
Cookie
You
Monster
can't
pajama
put on
pants.
just some jeans. Like it's not hard to put on jeans. Just do it. Like if you got some issue, fine. But I'm talking normal.
What kind of issue?
I don't know. Like if you're real big or something, and
one foot's bigger than the other.
Yeah, I mean,
sweatpants are about all you can wear.
I just want to be sensitive to the one person listening. It's like I can't wear jeans, but
and you want to go, but they could still.
Yeah,
you could probably
you can find a pair. It might not look the way you want it to, but you can get into some jeans.
Yeah, but it's like it's sloppy out here.
Yeah. Did we have anything I was in Washington? We had great shows. This is Paul Bunyan. I was in Bangor. Well, the whole weekend was DC, basically to DC, then Fairfax, Virginia, which is like 16 miles from downtown DC. George Mason University.
Nice.
And then Providence, Rhode Island, and then Bangor, Maine. Bangor, Maine.
That's how they say it?
Bangor. That's what I think. That's what someone told me.
Okay.
But this is Paul Bunyan. They gave me this sweatshirt. And it was like, Paul Bunyan's a tough, when you're like trying to fill out. I was like, is he from here? And there's an argument that he is. And then you're like, is he real?
Because Minnesota claims him too.
Yeah.
And where do they get a golf club that big? I mean,
I don't know.
Well, don't they claim
huge guy?
The Finger Lakes are him too? The Finger Lakes in New York?
I don't know.
He fell down. He put his hand. He created the lakes. He was that big.
So he's not real.
So,
or
who
was
knows?
an ancient giant? Maybe he roamed.
Yeah.
Keith Alberstadt has a joke about that.
Yeah.
Is he redheaded? I mean, he didn't look redheaded there, but is he?
I don't think so.
Oh, I was worried you were looking at that depiction on that sweater and asked if he was redheaded.
Well, Native Americans, have stories of redheaded giants that used to live in North America.
Oh,
So-
Yeah, we talked about it on the Mythical Creatures episode.
Yeah, so I wonder if Paul Bunyan was, a redheaded guy.
that makes him a little more scary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have heard Keith Alberstadt's Paul Bunyan joke.
Gary Sinise was on my flight, the one late night in
Really?
Nashville, and I was trying to think, who's the most famous person that's ever been on a flight that you've been on? You fly Southwest, so probably you.
Or Henry Cho, he's sitting next to.
No, when I flew with Henry, he goes, "I'm not sitting next to you."
Yeah.
Henry gets his own. I flew with John Chris on a Southwest flight before. I don't know.
You see, I know Eddie George was in your seat one time.
Yeah.
I was trying to think who else.
Kristen Chenoweth was on my flight
Okay.
like 2 weeks ago.
Wow, from the West Wing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Dusty?
I'm not good at recognizing
Al
people.
Gore. I've had Al Gore on a flight.
Yeah.
You'd
recognize a country
Al Gore's
singer.
a big dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, is he big?
I'm pretty sure what I remember. I felt like he was like he's like a kind of a big guy. He's bigger than like an athlete big guy.
Like
just
tall?
A big dude.
Like large.
Just like
Okay.
a large dude. Unless I don't remember that correctly at all.
I always feel like big time politicians are big dudes,
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are small.
but I feel like overall they're pretty big dudes.
Yeah.
I think leaders in general are big people.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger than average.
Yeah, I think it adds a level of intimidation if you're a real big dude.
Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn on a
Oh,
flight.
that's a big one.
Also a big guy.
Yeah, also a big guy. That was in Chicago to L.A. Jalen Rose.
Yeah, these all beat mine.
Yeah.
Bates is probably my top 5.
Yeah.
So my list stinks.
Yeah.
Where you guys are flying, there's no one's going. Where were you going? Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's Lieutenant Dan. I mean, that's a big one, dude.
Yep. He has a foundation here in Nashville.
I think he lives here.
Oh, does he?
I think so.
Okay. It was like Wounded Warrior or whatever foundation that he helps with. I think they're based here.
And the
Yeah.
Lieutenant Dan band. He's in a band.
Okay.
Yeah, and they play shows for veterans and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good dude.
The shirt I mentioned last week, I got it the week before when I was in Florida, and then I left it in my rental car. There's shirts for all of you guys. I left it and my paycheck in the rental car. So they sent it to me. So I wore it. I brought you guys on one. So
Appreciate it.
very nice.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the fun classic Nateland lines. A lot of Nateland lines on there.
Nateland. Yeah. What's your source? No, so.
What's your source is a deep cut, dude. That was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They said, we sent you 3 larges and an extra large. And then there's like a 10-second pause and they go, for Aaron.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Still too small.
Yeah. I think I'm looking at that extra large. Yeah.
So anyway.
Were y'all anything? Y'all just boring lives?
Boring lives, man. I was touring the Dakotas this weekend.
That's right.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And then
Look, here's a random.
Yeah.
Not to stop. Was it you probably were about to roll into something pretty good?
Not really. You picked up on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking where I watched Elvis, just talking about the professionalism. I watched Elvis.
It had nothing to do with what I was talking about?
No, it was at the end of Elvis, the movie.
Okay.
They show like the one clip I've seen, Unchained Melody, and he dies 6 weeks. It's a video of, and he dies 6 weeks after this. And I was watching it, and he was in, he's doing the video, and he's singing it, and it's, see if you can look up the Elvis Unchained Melody. It was like, this is kind of when I started thinking about, like, this is what makes me, it's got to be like live. It's not.
Yeah, this is live at
No,
Ann Arbor.
there's a video of him.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, performing.
Performing it. Yeah. So like, I think this is the one. Yeah.
Oh my.
So yeah, like he dies 6 weeks after this.
Oh.
Can you hear it? Or
Yeah, I don't want to play too much of it, get it flagged, but
He's got 2 Cokes.
All right.
he's got two Coke
Yeah.
cups in front of him.
But like, so this is what made me kind of think about this stuff. And this is what it's about. Because it's like the whole Elvis movie, they're talking about he loves his fans, right? He loves his fans. And this dude, you know how bad this guy feels? Like at the point being he's overweight, by the way, like it's the alcohol, it's the fast food, the Cokes, the everything. This dude feels miserable on the inside of his body. And the outside, I mean, like he just can't feel great. And he goes, but when he goes out there, it's about those fans, and it's about a show. And so I was watching it this weekend, and I just couldn't, like, I was like, this is it. It made me, I was like, I want to start playing it like before we go on stage. Just to remind, like, it doesn't matter what you feel in that moment. I mean, you know where this is at? Rapid City, South Dakota. That's what made me think of it.
Yeah.
That's where that's at. That's not in LA.
Yeah.
That's not in New York. That's in Rapid City, South Dakota. How many artists, do you think could go phone it in Rapid City, South Dakota? Because what's the point? He's at a point, he doesn't need to go to Rapid City at this point in his career. But this dude is singing his heart out. And it's unreal. And he doesn't look good. He does it. But it's like, it's about them. And I just, like this, it was, I don't know.
Aaron phoned it in this weekend.
Yeah.
The Elvis stuff makes me so sad. Because I that's why I won't watch that movie. But it makes me so sad.
Okay.
Well, I just think he was such like because what you're saying, I mean, he doesn't feel good. He dies soon after this.
Yeah.
And it's like, he was such an amazing performer and seemingly a very nice guy.
Yeah. I know. I agree with all this stuff, but it's like, I'm just saying it's the idea of like, that's what you do. When you go out there, that's what you do. There's a professionalism to it. So it goes in everything that you can do. Not saying if you're waiting tables, you're not thinking like, I want to be a professional waiter. You're doing it for that time being, but go be a professional for that.
Right.
Yeah.
2 years, you got to wait tables.
Take pride in your job.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it's, and I think that stuff shows out into this. I mean, it's insane. I was just watching it, and it's just like, I mean, he's miserable. There's he shouldn't.
And they ran out of mic stands.
I mean, he could have done a fine job. Yeah. Well, it's like,
Well, that's South Dakota's fault.
Yeah. Well, you are in rap. I mean, they're not going to have. He's like, I will do the best with what you give me. I think that guy holds that mic all the time for him.
Really?
I think so. I mean, you think it's just a one time, and he's also wearing the same jacket as Elvis. He goes.
Well, I didn't know if he's another guy in the band and he's just helping for this one song.
I can't imagine you could pull a band guy over. Steve on the drums, you mind come holding this mic for me for a second? I gotta play a piano, which you know nothing about.
This guy probably, though, is like, I used to hold the mic for Elvis. I mean, that's a credit.
I would hold that mic.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, he's you could argue the most important person there at the moment. But I mean, it's just look at him, and you hate where he was at, and that stuff's sad. But it's something to be said,
right,
about when he walked out there. It's like, you know, and the whole movie, the Elvis movie, is just saying he did it. He loved the fan. He never wanted to, like, it was like he wants to give them a show. He wants to give them. You didn't, you know, unless I know stories I don't know, but it seemed he never went out. It was never the audience's fault. It was the relationship between him and the audience was pure performance and pure respect and understanding that they are there and they deserve the highest I can give them at every point. Is every point going to be the high? I mean, they're going to, you know, but it's no matter what, he's doing the best he can. He's giving it everything.
Yeah.
That's pretty, yeah. All right. That's where it was.
I like that.
Because you were in Rapid City.
Yeah. I looked like that a little bit during some of my shows right there, sweating like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sioux Falls and then Fargo. Great weekend. I didn't spend any time there at all, really. That's like a corner of the country that I'd never been to.
I've never been to South Dakota.
It was fun.
I've been in North
South Dakota. Sioux Falls is a cool town. I had, you know, their delicacies. What they told me, I went to a diner there and they had a sour cream and raisin pie. You heard of that? Doesn't that sound horrible?
Awful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, a sour cream pie sounds awful. A raisin pie
Just sour
sounds
cream
awful.
sounds awful to me.
Sour cream raisin pie. And it's on the menu and it says Midwest favorite. So I asked the server and I go, is this like a Sioux Falls thing? She's like, oh yeah, we sell out every day here. She's like, I'd give you one, but I mean, it's 11 a.m. We've been out for hours, right? Wow. And then she comes back a couple minutes later and goes, I found a slice for you. And I tried it and I was so excited to talk about it. Dude, I could not find a single person that cared about that pie all weekend. That woman lied to me. Nobody cared about the sour cream and raisin pie.
And she just happened to find
maybe
it
was just that restaurant.
That's a sales technique.
Nobody had heard of it. They're like, what are you talking about?
She created her own demand.
Yeah, but it said Midwest favorite on the, I'm going to get the signature dish where I'm at. And it was not the signature dish.
Now that lady is a professional.
Sour cream.
She's a professional.
She knows how to sell a pie.
Yeah. She is Elvis. Her and Elvis are the same.
That may be the woman watching him in that video.
Yeah, this is what it looked like right here.
Looks delicious.
She's the one holding the mic. Aaron's the one eating it.
Yeah.
She's holding the spoon.
While Aaron sweats.
Yeah.
Keep it coming.
But great weekend. Thank you to everybody that came out. Fargo and Sioux Falls, man.
Is that when she goes, we have this sour cream raisin pie. And that sounds terrible, but I'll take 2 of them.
Yeah. You got to try it.
I was like, when am I going to see this on a menu ever again?
Where'd she find that slice, too?
Yeah.
We got a sucker out there.
Yeah.
She got me. Anyway.
Well, I went to Indianapolis, Helium, great weekend. I sold out 6 shows and very fun. A hot weekend. I've been
Small room?
No. And I've been going to Indianapolis for years and years and years. And so this is the first time this has happened. Yeah. So it was really great.
That's awesome.
People were awesome. And they were so fun.
Yeah. That's
and,
great.
you know, I felt a little like Elvis some of those shows. I felt not good. And I went out and I gave, I got a lot of digestive issues. So sometimes I'll be in the green room burping a lot. You've probably seen it.
And heard it.
And then, So then I go out there and the burps go away and I feel like it's some psychological issue I deal with. And then it's a great show. I feel good.
Yeah. But you're backstage struggling.
Yeah. And then I go out and I'm like, this is what it's all about. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just dizzy and burping.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on. That rules though, man.
It looks like
it's very exciting.
Jeez.
You guys don't always eat the best, but it looks like you wear the perfect jean.
I do wear the perfect jean. I'm so excited to talk about it. Dusty and I are both wearing right now.
Bam, look at
today's sponsor, the perfect jean. Man, I love these jeans. I've been wearing them nonstop. I got a couple pairs and I wore it at the airport this morning. They're comfortable enough to wear on a plane.
Yeah.
And you don't look like a total slob.
Look at these things.
I love how they're soft, right?
They got a little flex to them.
They got a real flex to them. I can wear them traveling all day. I'm just as comfortable as if I were wearing sweatpants. They sent me one pair and I bought another one myself. I got the slim, thick fit. And that didn't fit me quite right. I went with the slim. I think the slim gets me better, actually. But,
They're like, you already got the thick.
They're great looking, perfect fitting jeans. Their secret is a special denim fabric that we've already touched on. It's super soft and has a perfect amount of stretch. So you can squat, do yoga. That's what I plan on doing. Or just sit around all day and not even realize you're in jeans. They make 6 fits from skinny to thick and have a waistline from 26 to 50. And lengths from 26 to 38. It's finally time to stop wearing uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectjean.nyc. How about that? Our listeners get 15% off your first order, plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use code NATE15 at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with promo code NATE15. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. You know where you heard about them, right here on the Nateland podcast. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Forget your khakis and get the perfect jean.
Great airport pants.
Great airport pants.
Look good, feel good.
A lot of jeans now can be very comfortable.
Yes.
Start with you guys' comments, right? Jacob Hoover. In the first episode of the whole podcast, Nate said, I want this podcast to be about nothing because we know nothing. Consider that promise kept, my friends.
We stuck to our word.
We stick to it.
Yeah, it's the mission statement.
Yeah. John Tierney. Tierney, probably exactly right.
Tyranny.
Yeah.
Tyranny. Hello, Bear.
New form of it.
It's a little hello, folks. And hello, Bear. I'm an old man, 74, who learned of Nate Bargatze and his comedy about 8 months ago. Around Christmas, I learned of the concept of a podcast. In January, I found Nateland and I've been listening to many of your old podcasts. But I was being selective, listening to shows that Nate was hosting because I enjoy his comedy. Today, for the first time, I listened to a show where Nate was absent. It was hilarious, great show, podcast. What a concept.
Thank you, John. John Tierney, John. He gets it.
Thanks for taking a shot.
Yeah.
I saw one comment that said, Nateland without Nate's my second favorite podcast.
I love that.
That feels pretty good.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know?
Nateland. That's when we just call it Nateland.
The Nateland. Video Pro.
You get that?
Yeah, it's good.
I think everybody got it. Everybody got it that was going to get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I got to check sometimes. I got to see what's going on.
Yeah. Video Pro. I audibly gasped when Aaron triple tapped the back of his phone.
Yeah, that's a feature a lot of people don't know, but you can customize tapping the back of your phone to do whatever you want on your iPhone.
I did it once. I found out about it because like a video showed you or something.
Yeah.
And then I did my flashlight and it's just a nightmare.
You're just doing it accidentally all day.
There's no point. I mean, it's just too many. It's not convenient to be like, tapping the back of your phone. I don't think
you don't have to do it like that.
Yeah, you
can just kind of do it the right way.
Weird that this guy is Video Pro, though. Did he audibly gasp because he was excited to see somebody using this type of feature, or that he was shocked that it was happening?
I don't know. Either way, I appreciate it, man. I'll take your gasp. I'm going for gasps these days.
Weird saying this weekend, like you think it's, because a lot of people, we had great comics this week. We had Dustin Chafin, Johnny W., but Derek Stroop was out this weekend, and he's not been out with us before. I know Derek Stroop, but I didn't know him well. Very, very funny, and but he was saying like he had us try root beer with the half and half, like because he said one of his friends told him about it. You get A&W root beer and put half and half in it, and it's like really good. It tastes great, and it's like a trend on
like a root beer float.
Yes,
almost.
It makes it like a root beer float, and so it started like a trend. But he said one of his buddies just told him that he did it, and then someone else was like, "Oh yeah, that's like going on TikTok," and he's like, "Oh, I thought like my buddy invented this," and it's people do that a lot. That's a lot. Doesn't it happen more? People say stuff.
Oh yeah,
and there's a little bit more where they just go, birds can't fly in the rain, and you're like, you just know that?
Yeah, nobody just knows it now. It all comes off the internet.
Wait, are you saying people take credit for it?
Yeah. They take credit. They say it, and then they go, "How do you know that?"
Sources.
They go, "I just know." They don't reveal their sources, and you want to go say you watched a video. If they said I read it in a book, I think you would feel better because at least you had to go.
Sure.
We all know how hard that is.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you're just like, I was just mindlessly scrolling.
I learned this in 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Derek Stroop posted that this was his favorite weekend of comedy, doing that show with you.
Oh, really?
And I find that interesting because he did a weekend with me at Looney's Comedy Club in Colorado Springs, Colorado. So,
well, you weren't selling out shows.
No, but I would think that would still be his favorite. So
should have been his favorite.
Yeah. So I was pretty offended by it.
Yeah. Well, I made sure he posted that.
Yeah.
He also goes out with John Christ every weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Becky Brandt. When you make butter from churning cream, it ends up separating into two things, butter and buttermilk. So that's why it's called buttermilk. It's the milk left over from making butter.
Okay. That's good to know.
Thank you.
I thought that's what you said.
Oh yeah,
You were close.
I didn't know exactly, but I knew it was. I mean, buttermilk is not good to me. I never liked it. My mom growing up they were poor, right? So they would drink buttermilk all the time, but once in a while they would get what they called sweet milk, and that's the milk we know.
Yeah,
and that was a treat to get that.
Oh, yeah,
it's like finding that sour cream pie.
Exactly.
Well,
I found a jug.
Yeah, you found a jug of sweet cream in the back.
Yeah.
You ever heard of sweet acidophilus?
Yeah, that's what I used to drink. It's in a yellow one.
What is that?
I think, is that a Nashville thing because of purity?
Acidophilus?
Yeah. I did it because my buddy Ryan, like, I mean, that's what we'd get. And I used to always buy sweet acidophilus milk.
Is that the Roman god of milk?
I don't know what it is, but when I was a kid, my grandmother would have in a yellow jug, purity sweet acidophilus milk. And I don't even know what that means.
Could have came up with a better name, that's for sure.
It's like a dinosaur. It's dinosaur milk.
Yeah.
It's tough to even get going.
You don't
Google.
even,
Acidophilus.
Yeah, but you got to probably type in milk.
Yeah.
Like sweet.
Oh, acidophilus right there.
Yeah.
Purity dairy.
Sweet.
Never heard of that in my life, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nashville's hometown dairy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it like? Well, how would you compare it to other
tastes
milk?
like Dr. Pepper.
I don't know.
It was just good milk.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was it just like, I mean, you can't really tell the difference between that and milk?
Well, that's in a white jug, but the one I remember was in a yellow jug.
Yeah.
So let's say
the gallon was yellow.
Somebody brought you cereal with acidophilus in it, and they said, "Here's cereal and milk. Could you eat it?" And go, "This is not milk. This is acidophilus."
I don't think it was that different.
No. Okay.
Well, you know what it's got? The regular milk doesn't have Streptococcus thermophilus.
That's how you get strep throat.
I was going to say it's strep throat.
Yeah.
Put a tongue depressor
I'm telling you,
in there.
this could be, doesn't it look like all dinosaur names? Streptococcus, thermophilus,
Lactobacillus, acidophilus,
acidophilus, Binofidarium.
You know, they could, here's my theory, and Dusty, I feel like you'll back me up on this. They could have simpler words for all this, but they want it to be, you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. They don't want to put that it's some type of fluid from a sore that the cow had that day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, golly. I mean, what would you call that in one word, though?
Pus.
Yeah. I didn't know if that word was even acceptable on the podcast. It seems gross.
Well,
it seems gross.
Yeah.
But, it's like, that's what they say about when milk is sold as prepackaged chocolate milk or strawberry milk, that it was something going on with the cow's udders. So the milk was discolored. So they just added chocolate or strawberry to it so that they could, because it's still safe, but it's a bad color.
Just to get the color out of the way.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. See, Dusty always attributes his sources. It's always they. He doesn't get credit for it. He's just like,
there's no need to dig in.
Right.
Last week
I mean, is chocolate milk only around because milk offers, like there are milk, they're doing the wrong colored milk. There's enough to rely on it.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I would think that, maybe they were like making chocolate milk and then suddenly this started happening with the cows and they were like, you know what? Let's use that milk for the chocolate milk now.
Yeah, save some money.
Yeah. So maybe not all the chocolate milk is that, but.
Chocolate milk's pretty good. It's pretty special.
Well, I like to make my own,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to buy it prepackaged. You know, the carton you used to get at school?
Yeah.
That never was good to me. I love chocolate milk, but I never liked that.
I liked the milk. I didn't like the paper getting wet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
The first guy to ever drink chocolate with milk, Irish botanist Hans Sloane. Look at this dude. Doesn't this look like a guy who's taking chances in the kitchen?
Yeah.
He's like, what if I pour this in my acidophilus milk? And he changed the world.
What's a botanist?
They study plants.
Probably has the time on his hands.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he found the local Jamaican beverage consisting of cacao and water, but he added milk to it, and he was like, this is way better. Man, I didn't know there was like a single inventor. I thought it was just something you do organically.
Maybe that's something that it's a single inventor because that's like something people are just like, you're a moron. And then he just kept pounding away.
Right.
And it was almost like you couldn't even say it was someone else because this guy was so annoying about chocolate milk. Because at first people probably be like, I'm not eating, your weird milk.
You're putting what in what?
Old Dr. Sloan.
They just had to do a lot of milk back then, right? It was all milk.
It was a big part of your life.
Yeah. Brennan Hubert. As a pharmacist, I've heard of people taking some wild supplements, but I have to say, Dusty's cow gallbladder pills is a first. Hilarious that he kind of struggles to explain what they even are. I'm a big Dusty fan, so would love to team up and get his own line of supplements rolling.
Yeah, I mean, they have a whole line of cow parts, that are, because it's, kind of an ancient belief that, you can take like parts that, like you would eat like a cow liver to help your liver. You would get the parts, so that's kind of what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I read about it, but I didn't memorize it. So that's why I'm struggling to explain. But I did read about it and I go, this sounds interesting. And I took it and I didn't feel any worse than I normally feel. So
there you go.
So you just kept doing it.
Yeah. But the idea is that, because they have digestive enzymes that you take. This is what I think happened to me. I used to have acid reflux, still do. But for 10 years, I took this Prilosec, which they say is a 14-day treatment.
Yeah.
But I took it for 10 years. And I feel like that I trained the part of my body that produces stomach acid to not produce some stomach acid. So now I don't have enough stomach acid to digest food properly, which is why I burp all the time. So you can take digestive enzymes, which are a little bit of stomach acid that's supposed to help you break it down. And that's kind of what these pills are too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
That's my own diagnosis based on seeing a lot of doctors, hearing a lot of things, and they never know what to do. So I've been piecing it together myself.
Yeah.
All right.
I believe in you.
Yep. Jordan Porter. Aaron complaining about people using Clear and jumping ahead of him at the airport, but then raving about using an app to jump the line at the car rental place is hilarious to me.
Well,
what's the difference, Aaron?
I think I might have misspoke. I don't have an app to jump the line. I was just able to check in for my reservation through the Enterprise app. So then you can walk right to the
car,
which I think speeds everything up for everybody still. It still proves my point.
Why don't you like Clear?
Because Clear, it's literally just a line cutting service. It doesn't speed up airport security as a whole. Whereas TSA PreCheck is good for everybody. It's a net good for all of TSA and everybody getting through it. Clear is just, you wait in line and then some dork gets escorted up to the front. Sorry, Dusty. Just gets brought up to the front of the line. And you're like, well, you're not helping anything. You're literally just cutting a line.
You're helping that guy.
That guy's being helped, but it does nothing for the overall speed of
what
the
about the Clear
security.
Employees?
I hope they go bankrupt. I don't care what they do.
I mean, I agree with you, but I do
like
love it. Yeah.
I don't know if I got Clear PreCheck. I mean, I like with Clear PreCheck is great. You just go, because then you got two options. I think it's for the people that travel a lot versus the people that don't travel a lot. It doesn't matter how smooth of transition you have. If you've got families and people checking in, it's going to be a problem. And so if you're a traveler all the time, it's like, here's two more different options that I don't think it's slowing that line down.
No, it doesn't do any good. It just cuts people in the line.
I know, but I'm saying it's kind of like if you want to look into it, if you want to go do it, if you want to spend the money and you fly a lot, here's a little convenient thing that you can go do that kind of speeds your process up.
Right. No one's denying it's great for the person that uses it. But I'm saying if you use TSA PreCheck, that's good for everybody. The people in general boarding benefit from that.
How?
Because they have their own lanes. Clear doesn't have its own lane. They just take you and drop you in front of one of the other.
Clear PreCheck does.
They put you in front of the PreCheck lane. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I could advocate for a Clear line. I would go for that. Give us our own lane for Clear. Maybe we don't even have to get our bags x-rayed. That's what I'm talking about.
But they don't have to do it. You just go up and show your ID, then you just go. It's a very quick.
But think about if everybody had clear at the airport.
Well, then it wouldn't matter. But the thing is you're just trying to go. Pre-check's become a problem because pre-check.
I don't think it's become a problem. I think it's great. I think it's great.
No. But I mean, people know about it more. Pre-check for years was. I mean, hay bales are going through there. No one's in it. It was great. But then you start going. Then I remember days where you pay for the pre-check. Then they'd be like, they just start sending people through pre-check. Mm-hmm. And then you're like furious because you're like, these people don't even have pre-check.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to speed up all of it. But now pre-check, there's some lines where some airports where pre-check can be, I've gone not pre-check because it was quicker to go regular than pre-check because pre-check line was so long.
In Nashville, pre-check is quicker than clear. In Nashville, almost every time. I just don't do clear because pre-check's faster. By the time somebody comes up to you and goes, "Oh, come on over here, mm-hmm. put your eyes in front of this thing."
Yeah.
Couldn't you argue those pre-check lanes, if they didn't exist, there'd be more general boarding lanes? So it'd be moving faster for everyone.
You could argue that, but I don't think we're that. I think there's plenty of lanes to most airports. There's plenty of lanes.
I think it's about giving you the option for. I think you got to split up the option about, like the people that are flying, and they're not. A lot of people are not going to do clear pre-check because they fly once a year.
Well,
but then the ones that are.
Do you want to use clear in places other than the airport? Would you want to use clear? Let's say you go to Starbucks and there's a clear. Would you want to?
Well, it's a mobile app.
His show this weekend, they had that.
What?
Someone posted that they were standing in line for your show, and they came up and said, "If you have clear, come up here." And you got to get out of line and go up there.
You're bought and paid for. That's what this is.
That's what this Big Clear's gotten to him.
Big Clear.
I did not know that.
That's
interesting.
That's what they said. They said the average Clear customer uses it 12 times a year. Their dream is to use it 12 times a day. Like everywhere you go, there's a Clear lane.
Well, that seems excessive.
That's what I'm saying.
I always say that when you say that.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
I don't even understand what you're saying.
I don't think there'd be 12 lines a day. Like, I was trying to think what they.
I mean, at Walmart, it'd be pretty awesome.
Anywhere you go, think about anywhere you go, you get to just cut people because you have Clear.
So you're saying Walmart the checkout lane?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, now they have self-checkout where it's fine. But back in the day, Walmart would have like one lane open and you'd be in this, you go in there for one thing and you're there 45 minutes waiting in line.
I don't know what the benefit it is though in Walmart. I think it's like going into a show, I guess, is like you don't have to go through the security because we've already done a security search on you. So you're approved. Like that's the point of it.
Yeah.
Just getting out of line at Walmart is like, well, this guy, the government knows about this guy. Let's let him check out quicker.
Yeah.
I don't think that makes sense.
Well, I wouldn't mind though, just the idea of like, I'll just scan my 2 fingers here and I skip this whole line at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People people can get mad, but it's just like, it's another option. And so I think if you fly a lot, it just, I never thought of it like that.
I want all the shortcuts I can possibly get in the airport.
I'm sure you do.
Just kidding. What if you could use Clear to skip to the front of the Southwest line?
Yeah, I got status with Southwest. I worked hard to get to the front of that line, dude.
All right.
Yeah.
You're talking to A16 right here, brother.
Okay.
Come on.
Right.
Cameron Clark. I have a standing desk and treadmill that I usually do 2 miles a day on. I had already done it today, but after hearing Aaron almost walking a marathon, I had to get it back out. Thanks for the exercise motivation.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. A lot of people reached out and asked for the model of the treadmill. I never thought I'd be a treadmill influencer, but here I am, dude.
How far do you walk?
On average, about 10 miles a day.
10 miles?
You did 18 in one day.
Treadmill. I did 18 one day. I was just to see how much I can do.
While doing emails.
Yeah, while editing videos for the podcast or emails or whatever. Just walking on it.
How many hours?
I mean, we don't believe it, but
I sent y'all the data.
Do you put it on your leg?
Yeah, I put the Apple Watch on my ankle.
Well, that's why it racks. It's supposed to be on your wrist. It's racking up really fast.
Why do you put it on your ankle?
What do you mean it's racking up really fast?
Like the motion is making it feel like you're going a lot faster than you really are. You mean
the motion of me walking on a treadmill? Mm-hmm. You can calibrate it so that it works with a treadmill.
Does someone put it on for you?
But if you put the
It's like
I put it on. I got an ankle strap for it.
It's like a vertigo. Wait, you can wear an Apple Watch on your ankle?
You can get like a longer ankle strap to put it around your ankle.
You can't?
No.
Huh?
What are you talking about?
What, just extra straps? You got extra straps Southwest? You're just an extra strap guy?
It's not a seatbelt extension.
Everything you put on, you got to go. Hey, you got a little extra, though, back there? Yeah, every strap you are involved with. I'll take your watch and a little extra of the, you know what I'm talking about.
I need a little more slack.
I don't understand. Does it not work on your wrist?
Well, if your arms are up typing on a keyboard,
I see.
It's not going to track your steps. And, and your mileage and everything. You can calibrate it and put it on your ankle.
But if you got the treadmill, does it show you like how far you're walking?
The treadmill does too. The treadmill will track it.
What are you walking? What speed?
Anywhere, depending on what I'm doing, 2.4 miles per hour to 3.2. If I'm just watching something, I could go fast. But if I'm typing emails, I need to be a little slower, else I can't really type.
Yeah, I mean, how long would it take you to walk 18 miles?
It was all day.
Yeah.
It shuts off after 99 minutes, this model I had. So I did that 4 times. Yeah.
99 minutes 4 times?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. No, a lot of people don't believe me, but that's okay, dude.
That's like, a little over 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a long day.
Wow.
I wonder why people don't believe.
I get it. Look, I wouldn't believe me either. I'm not saying it's. I'm not saying it's
400 minutes on a treadmill.
I'm not saying it's in character, but I'm saying it happened.
Is the refrigerator on the desk? That'd be pretty good. I thought about having one of those. Or is the standing one?
Yeah, it's the best.
Mary Ellen Goodwin. Aaron, there's a name for your sister has. It's called misophonia. My son has it. Misophonia may cause a reaction to sounds such as dripping water, chewing, snapping gum, or repetitive noises such as pencil tapping.
How about that? Yeah, I think I can't remember what I said. I'm aware that it's a real medical condition. What I'm doubtful of is whether my sister actually had it. And because miraculously, the last 15, 20 years, I haven't heard a thing about it. But when she was growing up in our house, it was an everyday thing,
We're not around her much now.
But I'm saying there's still noises around in her life,
I think certain people can just start to irritate you. Like if you
That's what it is. Yeah.
And so she's just and I think that's what this is. You're just like, you're irritated with people.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're like, it's not you, it's the sounds you're making.
Yeah. Right. It's generally everything you're doing. Like if you're a roommate with someone and they've started to irritate you, suddenly everything they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Triggers are commonly repetitive stimuli and are primarily related to the human body: chewing, eating, smacking lips, slurping, coughing, throat clearing, sniffing, and swallowing. And then once you get focused on it, you just can't focus on anything else. That's just all you hear.
Yeah.
Are those
I have
noises.
that happen.
Nose whistling?
Yeah. Some type of OCD situation.
I feel like it's just normal.
Yeah. I think so.
Melissa Ladden. I would like to know the order in which the band arrives to record this podcast. Here's my guess. Nate, Breakfast, Aaron, Dusty. Maybe Aaron and Dusty arrive at the same time. I don't know. But I do think Breakfast would arrive before Nate if it wasn't in his home. Maybe he does.
Today I did.
You were here before me today.
Yeah, I would say that's not the order, though. I'd say usually you're last.
Well, maybe I was going to say it's pretty random. Like, I don't think there's any.
It's in order of who cares about this podcast the most. Brian's usually last.
I'm first.
Yeah, Nate's first.
Always first.
And me and Dusty right after him. And then Brian.
Nate's first, but he lives here.
Yeah. I'm first.
Actually, today you weren't here first.
Yeah. A lot of times he's last.
There's a lot of times, even though I live here, I am the last one to sit down.
I'm usually still working on the podcast.
That's true.
You
I was kidding earlier.
You guys roll up and be like, hey,
I'm a
what are we talking
very
about today?
on-time guy. People don't think that about me, but I'm very on time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can be running. Yeah, I had to drive. You know what I did? I had to do a phone call, kind of a long phone call today, and I just got in the car and drove.
Yeah, you don't do that as much anymore, do you?
No, but I've had to do it a few times because I've had a few calls, and I'll just be like, I'll just call you. Like, it's just nice to. I just go take a big lap around wherever, like, you know, and you just because it's like talking and driving is like easy. It feels better than just sitting.
Yes.
Here. You're out. You feel like you're doing something.
Right. I'm going somewhere.
Brian Fox. SNL regularly brings back successful sketches or characters. For example, there's been multiple David S. Pumpkins appearance by Tom Hanks. Given the success of Nate's episode and specifically the George Washington sketch, would Nate go back for a cameo in a future episode to reprise that role if asked? I could see Nate Style Washington being a hit as a recurring weekend update segment. I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Next.
No, yeah. Yeah, I would. Of course. Yeah. I feel like I don't know where you're going to put him in, though. It's like specifically that thing.
Mm-hmm.
The weekend update idea sounds fun.
But just what's the character? You just keep making jokes about the metric system.
Yeah, it's like it's the setting. I don't know if it was me. It wasn't me being George Washington. What was funny? It was what George Washington was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So if the George Washington was more the other way, I think you could. But you could maybe do another sketch with George Washington of this kind of thing, here's another thing that doesn't make sense, and you kind of change it. That you could do. But George Washington coming out of nowhere. I mean, unless you had another sketch about that has nothing to do with George Washington, but it's about something ridiculous that people use, and he could pop in and make it, and he goes, I agree. Like, you know, or something. You can make a thing like that.
Like Easter. It could be about, Easter is supposed to be about resurrection, but it's a bunny, eggs, stuff like that. That just makes no sense. Something like that.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's what SNL wants to talk about. I guess bring that like that.
The true meaning of Easter.
Yeah. I guess.
All right. I'm just trying to help you along.
That's a perfect point. This is a very funny,
Yeah.
This guy's good.
Yeah, this guy's good. That's what you're going to pitch them. Well, guys, church never starts when it says it's going to start. They're like, what?
I'm not afraid to hide my face, but if you are, that's fine. We saw it in the episode.
Where I didn't cuss or anything.
Yeah.
You saw it. Kevin Allen. Nate mentioned keeping it clean, but certainly a less than Christian joke. Wait. Nate mentioned keeping it clean, but certainly a, quote, less than Christian joke concept has come up at some point. What is the possibility of him keeping a dirty joke notebook and then touring with it under a pseudonym, sort of like Garth Brooks did with Chris Gaines? Nate could just grow his hair out and we'd all be fooled by this breakout, foul-mouthed, cool guy. Speaking of that, I would never even have it's like I couldn't even do it. I'm just doing what I'm doing, and so it's like my mentality is like too much. I'd have to really switch. Like you would have to, and I'm just not going to be comfortable doing it. So I'm not going to be. Once you're not committed, I'm never going to be able to do it. I really don't like. I mean, it's a very funny idea of like doing it.
I got 10 minutes I'd like to do right now.
I told
just grow your hair out, Dusty.
I said to Jeff Foxworth on his radio show, I was like, just like once my parents die, I'm gonna be just dirty after that. But I don't have any. I just it's got to be what you want to do and commit to it. So I wouldn't be able to. I would have a hard time doing it, and I don't. But yeah.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I got some old jokes, but I don't do it now for like that reason too. It's like I don't know. Now people know me for a different type of humor, so I would feel like it would be a betrayal to like come out with some real dirt. And not even my dirty 10 that I would say I have is really not that dirty.
Not that dirty, not that clean, just dusty.
Right, exactly.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be just be you. And then I see it interesting to write. Like I've you write a stand-up act. Like, could you write, now I think about what to write for the next hour. I'm starting to think of that. But it's like, I wouldn't think of it like that, but I don't know. I don't really have an answer for it yet because I don't know the direction to go in. John White. We booked our tickets to see Nate at the Netflix Comedy Festival. When you have 4 headliners at a show like that, how long does each comedian normally go on for? I would love to see the full set of each of them, but I have a hard time imagining this will be a 4-hour show. We also booked tickets to see Dusty and Leanne Morgan, but unfortunately are flying out the day before Aaron.
Oh, no. That's okay.
That's all right. I think they did the right stuff.
Yeah. Dude, those were the 3 I would pick, too.
Yeah, I mean, come
it.
on. Aaron might be on that flight. His show might get canceled.
Aaron? Is that you?
Aaron? You just sitting there, Apple Watch on your ankle.
A16?
You got 2 seats and the seatbelt's coming over. John? No, Aaron's show will be amazing.
Well, thank you.
At the Netflix.
The idea of all of y'all doing an hour each is hilarious.
Yeah, it would be too much. My suggestion was, or what I said is, I think we probably need a host. So we'll get a host, and then we're going to go out and do probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes each, I bet. And then at the end of it, all go out together, and then probably have some, let people try to pre-write some questions in or something.
Yeah.
And then just, kind of like at least have an idea of where that's going. So it is a good show and there is direction.
Now, for those who don't know, who are the 4 comedians?
Sebastian Maniscalco, Jim Gaffigan, me, Jerry Seinfeld.
Wow, what a show.
It's a pretty good lineup, huh?
What a show.
Yeah, all doing an hour.
All doing an hour. Yeah, that would be, going last on that would be brutal. Second, you could only go first or second. And second would be tough.
Dude.
But first or second, you at least be like, begging for first. And then going second.
Host us 30.
It's like, I don't know. I wonder if you could be like, hey, everybody go do 30, 35 minutes. And you're like, we're going to reset. Maybe you could do that.
That's a long show, man.
I know it's a long show, but if you're like, here's 4 comics, write a 30-minute, it's like in your head, like I would just put together a 30-minute set. That's why it's like doing 20, everybody's going to be between 20 and 30, I bet. And then it's, 25 probably. And then you go out together. And
Sebastian would have to go last, I would think, just to like at the end of the 4-hour show, right? Just to bring this energy. Yeah. At that point, you need some act out.
What are y'all still doing here?
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. I suggested, because the order is like, you're like, I don't want to make Seinfeld go last, but you're just like, I don't know what to do. Like you're Seinfeld.
You're Seinfeld.
Did you guys decide?
No, I feel like I'm going to have to spearhead it a little bit. Everybody's going to be fine.
You might
with
have
whatever.
to host. You might have to host it.
Yeah, I'd host it. But I kind of figured it's kind of like a years thing. That's how I always think comedy.
Yeah.
I figured I'll go first, and then it'll be probably Sebastian, Jim, Seinfeld. Because I don't know I think Jim's been doing it longer than Sebastian. So you just kind of do it by a years thing where you're just like hierarchy of how long.
I hope y'all fight about it because that would be. I hope there's some real.
I hate those guys.
Yeah.
Seinfeld always, he's like, I don't care.
You gonna put me second?
Yeah, I'm not telling him, look, I'll go whenever you I'll do whatever you want to do. That's the only direction I can think of. So,
what tell us about Butcher Box?
Yep. Get incredible deals and premium cuts from Butcher Box. We love using ButcherBox. It is a high-quality meat and seafood you can trust. It's very easy because it is delivered right to your door with free shipping. As I'm trying to lose some weight before I take the special in April, we'll see where we end up. It's not good right now, I'll tell you that.
What are you at?
I think I'm 186 or something. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, it's bad.
Gross.
So I need my meal preps to keep me on track. ButcherBox, great because they got the meat in there. It's I like that I'm always prepared with meat in the freezer. I'm not home enough to run to the grocery store, and I never have gone to the grocery store, even when I am home. So it's both of those things. I don't go. This is two reasons I want it. Is way you're like, I don't have time to go to the grocery store. Also, I don't ever go to the grocery store. But it's great to have that here. It makes it super easy. With ButcherBox, you don't have to worry about what is for dinner. ButcherBox is offering our listeners their choice of a weeknight meal essential: 3 pounds of chicken thighs, 2 pounds of ground beef, or 1 pound of premium steak tips. Steak tips are nice.
The best.
Very good.
For free. For free, you get that in every order for a whole year. Plus, get $20 off your first order. Sign up today at butcherbox.com/Nate and use code Nate to choose your free offer and get $20 off. There we go.
Hey, I have two things I'd like to show. Speaking of ButcherBox, someone in Milwaukee, a girl has this chicken and named him Dusty Slay.
Oh, wow.
The family brought that to me. I think they're podcast listeners. Their daughter named the chicken Dusty Slay.
Wow.
Oh,
and then these people in Milwaukee, this girl drew this picture for me.
Oh my gosh.
I think this says Lydia.
Yeah.
Luda, but I don't know how to read in cursive, and I'm sorry about that. But their podcast
that's a great drawing.
And she drew that.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Great.
People can draw. Like, I don't know how.
So I appreciate those things. I wanted to show that off.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I don't know how people draw. I don't think I can draw.
Do you never doodled stuff in school, really?
No, kept it pretty serious.
I drew this guy just today on the podcast. That guy.
I was never a doodler.
I would doodle, but I would do like almost like fractals, like geometric.
Yeah, fractals.
Designs, yeah.
Yeah, what's a fractal?
You know what a fractal is?
No.
After you drink a lot of acidophilus.
Yeah.
My fractals are acting up.
Yeah.
Is that the person that delivers you the acidophilus?
That's what a fractal is. It's like a repeating pattern all around.
Like a swoosh.
Yeah, I would just draw like random stuff like
Looks
that.
a bit like an octopus. You think that's
so
what
even
led to
your
fear?
downtime is just boring, like education stuff. It's just even you're goofing off.
Fractals.
I don't know. I would always balance my checkbook when I got bored. Checkbook in 7th grade. I don't just pay the bills for the family when I'm bored.
Have you ever written a check?
I have. Yeah.
I had to write one. I write probably one a year. And
For what?
Last night was it. I mean, just on average, I would say.
Okay.
But I had to pay something last night. You could pay online. It was going to be $33 more for the processing
Convenience fee.
Convenience fee. So I thought, I'm just going to write it out. And I started too big. That line's not that long.
Yeah.
And it was $1,269.06. And I wrote 1,000. And I'm like, I'm out of space here.
I do that every time. It starts real big and then it starts to get, by the end, it's real crammed up in there. Yeah.
Like it's going up.
What'd you buy?
Well, it was a bill I had to pay. But then Ruth said, don't put that in the mailbox. She's like, I would take it in the post office.
Why?
And she said, because check washing, people will steal it and wash the checks. And I'm like, I'll meet you halfway. I'll just put it in a U.S. Postal Service box on the way here, which is what I did. But then my buddy, I thought she was being ridiculous. My buddy Ben Hall, who, said just had a check stolen from his mailbox, and they did $5,000 worth of stuff. They washed it and rewrote it. So I think it's a big thing.
Catch me if you can.
Yeah. It seems like they're going to the right homes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They, they get an idea.
Finding those
old
big
people
checks.
who write checks.
Yeah, they're finding.
So you're getting at?
Yeah, as I'm getting at, they know where they're going. They're.
But that's interesting you ask that because checks are I have to look up what goes, how to write it out. I've had to do that before. I remember I wrote my old roommate. I had to write my rent check to him.
Yeah.
And I wrote it and I gave it to him, and I'm walking out the door and he goes, Hey, you forgot to sign the back of this. And I was like, what? He goes, you forgot to sign the back of this. I was like, I wrote the check to you. You signed the back of it. And we fought about that for like 15 minutes. He's like, no, you got to endorse it so they know that it's your check. And I was like, you endorse it, dude. Yeah. It's just two 20-somethings, idiotic argument. And I remember being like, so you just think every check you've ever gotten's been wrong?
Yeah.
Like every paycheck you've gotten, they just didn't do it correctly? He's like, oh, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
It's the kind of fights we were having back then.
At Notre Dame?
No. This is my room when I'm in Nashville a few years ago.
This is when you get out of you got out of the
things change.
This is where the house you lived in when someone broke in and stole your Arby's jumpsuit.
Yeah.
This is the real world. You left college.
My buddy
got into
left his house.
What we arguing about?
That's right. It's a Vol State argument for sure.
You go, it is a Vol State argument. You go, I can't believe I'm having this conversation. And then it's like, he's like, I've been waiting for this conversation my whole life.
He's like ready to go about it. My that's a different house, my roommate, but he left. His mom got sick, so he went and stayed with her for a while. Came back. This is in Madison, Tennessee. There's like 7 homeless people in his house living there.
Wow.
He had to like kick open the door and they're just squatting there. He had to like go through and get them all out, and the cops came. They just squatted there for like 2 or 3 months. Just took over his house. Oh, isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
It's crazy to think about, dude.
Yeah.
Well, knowing what stuff you had told me about that place though, and having picked you up there before.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt that they were like, just watching that and go, this guy's not coming back.
Yeah. It was rough. Yeah. It was a rough neighborhood. But
I mean, how do you ever think that you feel relaxed as a squatter? You're just mentally, do not care. Probably on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, based on what they found. Yeah. They came in there to get after it.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if they were.
Yeah. Did he own that house?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you want to live in there after that.
What if you're one of the squatters and you leave something and you go and like you got to go back and go, hi. I left my wallet.
Had a lot of cash in it.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember me, but
like the week before.
I was one of the guys that. Do you remember when you got? Because how do you bring that up? Yeah. You don't go like obviously because you could probably knock on the door and go obviously my wallet's in there. He's gonna go. I don't know if you remember the time that me and 5 other
you were out of town.
You were out of town for a little while, and I lived in this home for 2 to 3 months.
I subletted this house.
Without paying, and you didn't know about it. I think I left my wallet behind the refrigerator. We were behind the refrigerator more than you would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't got no copper wires back there anymore.
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about the sun. Right. I don't know if the sun gets enough respect around here.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to wait, but Aaron said it's about to burn out in 5 billion years, so I thought we better get to it.
Didn't they just say the sun flare things?
Oh,
what about it?
Like, did you have that on there? Oh,
I heard about it. Yeah.
Main topical stuff is sun flare. You're talking about the sun. Never.
What are you talking about?
It knocked AT&T out.
Oh, that's what caused it?
That's what they say.
It says solar flares,
You guys believe
flares.
that?
No, the idea of it is, no one is pure saying it, but that's what they said, solar flares. I don't even know what that means. It's just a little extra. Sun gives a little extra boost.
Just flares up a little bit. My sun's flaring up.
You ever watch it? You know, you watch a bonfire.
Yeah.
Every now and then, there's a little something gets going on there. Yeah. Something pops off.
That's how they say.
That's crazy that the sun could just a little. I would imagine it's always popping off like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say. They'll drop an EMP on us and shut down all our stuff and say it was a solar flare.
What's an EMP?
Like an electromagnetic pulse. They're like supposed to knock out all electronics.
Okay.
Had a lot of trouble saying electronic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we talked about the sun a little bit last week. Dusty and I debated whether sunscreen was good or bad for you. And
I'm against
we got into it.
Yeah, hard stuff. We also talked about the solar eclipse that's coming up. Do you know that? There's a Full solar eclipse coming up April 8th.
We were invited to do a live podcast in Indianapolis because they say right around there is where it will come, and that's where the X hits, because the last one came from the northwest down to the southeast, and this one's coming up from the southwest going up to the northeast. So it's going to make an X right across America.
And someone that invited us.
Well, Aaron jokingly said last week we should do our podcast from the path where it's going to be totally.
Yeah.
And I think everyone in the path has invited us. I've gotten multiple emails saying you should come here and do it. For the 30 seconds that it will be in darkness.
I'm going to be at home protecting my family in case something goes wild.
Did y'all see it when it came through Nashville? Did y'all see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I be potentially stick in the mud?
Yeah.
Was I the only one a little unimpressed?
I was wildly impressed.
You were at Old Hickory, right?
Yeah, I got a video of I teed off and hit a golf ball
in the dark. Yeah,
in the dark.
That's fun. You were playing golf, so you're having a good time. I was just looking at it.
But it's the crickets in it. I mean, it's insane. Like, it's just out of nowhere. You hear nothing.
But I was just watching videos today of people like crying.
Well, I don't.
Like it's a spiritual experience.
Well, I mean,
it got dark for a few
but
seconds.
you're talking about a that's lunacy. There's no one that's like that except the one video you saw. So, but on planet Earth, there's 4 people that are crying, but you watch that video goes viral because the rest of the people are just wouldn't make a funny video. They would be like that. So no one's like that. But it's crazy just to be like, you hear nothing. And then like that, it goes crickets.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's outside and then back to nothing. And it's like, I mean, crickets, how dumb are they? Like, I mean.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's dark. Yeah. Let's get out.
I mean, they're
like, oh, I feel like I didn't get any sleep.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This year, they're like, just sleep in your clothes. Trick yourself.
That's what they do. Yeah.
Well, I was downtown and it was cloud cover, so I kind of was disappointed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I watched it from my house and it was cool. Yeah. But what I'm saying is I don't know if I would travel to go experience it again.
I mean, we were getting it so good in Nashville. I mean, I wish I could see if I have that video.
What's wild about that is like, ancient civilizations would have really taken that as some sort of a sign.
Dude, can you imagine if you're just doing whatever and then that happens?
Yeah, and we're out here hitting golf balls and barbecuing and, making fun of the crickets. But like ancient times, I mean, it would be like, it'd be whoa, let's sacrifice some things.
In the Bible, again, to bring it back to Jesus's crucifixion.
I'll save this for an SNL sketch.
Yeah. It was dark for like 3 hours while he was on the cross, from like noon to 3.
Okay.
And some historians think maybe that was an eclipse.
Dark. Did they say dark physically dark or dark like?
I mean, I think physically dark.
It's a sad time.
Like the sun was blocked out.
Sun was, okay. Yeah. From clouds, maybe?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
I think
there weren't a lot of weather terms back then. I guess.
I'd rather just say, that didn't happen than to say, there just also happened to be an eclipse that day that lasted from noon to 3. What are the odds?
Yeah, 3-hour eclipse. How long does this one? I mean,
a few minutes.
Yeah, minutes. A 3-hour one. What happened there?
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, we had the kids out. Everybody's it was a great day.
Sure.
We were playing golf. The kids were at a pool. We're at Old Hickory Country Club, and then I'm hitting, and then I was like, we stopped just the middle of the round because it's like you can't see, it gets completely dark. But I was blown away by it. I mean, it's just insane. Just the middle of the day, it's just completely dark. Sounds like it's dark, and then it goes back to normal. Pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's a pretty crazy thing.
How about this? Delta is offering a flight where they follow the eclipse through the air. It's from Austin to Detroit, designed to maximize how much time they spend within the path of totality. And they even have a plane with bigger windows. So you just hop on and just follow it along. So you're just in the darkness.
Oh, the whole time?
Yeah. For as much as you could.
I looked this up last night. It's all every one sold out.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Every flight?
Well, there's one flight, but every seat is sold out. Now they are offering some later flights.
Catch the back end of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's some Major League Baseball games that are having to move their times because of it.
They shouldn't move the time. Just stop the game.
Yeah.
That's 2 minutes. Coolest thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but I think there's a couple that were going to be day games. They've moved to night.
Oh, that's what a missed opportunity.
Yeah. They should just have the lights on, and then during the eclipse, you keep playing.
Do it like Sandlot. Put some fireworks up in the darkness.
How cool would that be? Like, we're going to turn the lights on, and when it goes dark, if it's 2 minutes, like, make sure, have at least like one at bat in complete dark, in a game that played during a solar eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
You know when people would watch that game?
Well,
that's true.
They just do a mound visit that takes up the whole eclipse. That's what they would do.
People are always predicting things that don't come true, but people are predicting that after this, that this going across America like this, making this X, that there will be these earthquakes. And I think we talked about this last week, but on this fault line that runs right up basically kind of near the path that we haven't had earthquakes in a long time. And so, I just want to throw that out there while we're having a little fun baseball talk. Could be some negatives.
I don't know where I would like to see where you read all this.
Yeah.
Well, my TikTok is wild.
Oh, he doesn't read. But TikTok.
Man. Yeah. TikTok's where it's at now.
You got
TikTok's
that algorithm honed in.
Yeah, TikTok's the old YouTube. I mean, YouTube used to be a free world out there, but it's not as fun. TikTok is still pretty good.
Yeah.
I try to find, like I Googled, there are more earthquakes after an eclipse. It said the only thing, there's a full moon during an eclipse because it blocks out the sun. And I guess the tides can be stronger from the full moon. So therefore it could trigger more eclipses. Earthquakes.
Earthquakes. Okay.
So, I had a time lapse of downtown Nashville.
That went viral.
Yeah. And I can't find it right now, but.
You should have put your dates at the end of it. You know what I mean?
When was the?
I got a ton of views.
When was the eclipse?
2017. Anyway,
well, the next one's not till 2044. It's the next time we'll get an eclipse over North America.
2024.
Interesting,
2044.
We had two so close together, and that they do form an X across the country. I think that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Regardless if you believe anything's going to happen or not, it is pretty wild to think that an X is being formed right over the country in a short matter of time with these eclipses.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's crazy times.
What's at the center of the X?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think is it not this Indiana town? Missouri, something like that is where it crosses.
Jackson County, Missouri.
Is it?
Maybe.
There was a town in Illinois, I think, who is experiencing both the one from 2017 and this one. So
I would get out of there.
I think it'd be awesome. The experience. The sun's 93 million miles away, or 10 to 15 miles, depending on who you ask. Right? I mean,
yeah, I'm with you. I'm tracking with you.
It takes sunlight. We've talked about this a little bit over 8 minutes to.
I've never put a number on it, by the way, but
yeah.
Okay, but it could be a little more, a little less. You're saying, yeah.
You said we've never driven there. Who knows?
Right.
That's what.
Or
93 million.
Even flown anywhere close to
it. I don't think anybody ever, when they say didn't like 93 million, you said 93 million years away?
Miles. If I said years, I meant miles.
Oh, I don't know.
8 light minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that doesn't really mean anything to anybody. I mean, I don't think even scientists, like they say it, and then it's like, what does that mean? You'd be like, yeah, it's just what we're saying.
You know the solar flares we were talking about?
Yeah.
It takes 8 minutes for us to see it.
Yeah.
That's how far away it is.
Well, that makes, why don't they say it like that every time?
What? I think they.
All right, I'm like your buddy with a check that goes, all right, well, I never thought of it like that. This is a Ball State.
No, you got to endorse this.
No, you got to. Would you sign your name on that?
Would you stand by this check? You better endorse it.
So the sun's made up of gases and hydrogen and helium, and it's just held together by its own gravity. And I never really thought about the solar system, like what constitutes when it ends and when it starts. Mm-hmm. It's when the gravitational pull of the sun is no more. That's when it ends. So that's how big the solar system is, when you can get away from the sun. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So there's planets out there that are just on their own,
or in
not
their own solar
necessarily
system.
planets. Yeah. What's it called? The Oort cloud, that little on the.
I think so.
On the very outside edge of it, past Pluto. There's little stuff that's still getting picked up by the sun out there.
You ever see the movie Moonfall?
Yeah.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
You haven't seen it.
I swear.
Who's in it?
I just watched it recently. It's pretty new.
It's great.
And the moon starts to get off its orbit.
Mm-hmm. I might watch it again tonight.
And it's starting to come around and it's starting to come around and they're worried that it's about to crash into Earth.
Is Kiefer Sutherland in that?
He is very briefly.
Oh, I remember this movie.
And but the moon they discover is like a mega structure to where it's hollow inside.
Are you giving stuff away?
Not too much.
Probably.
A little bit, but not too much.
Is this fiction?
Okay. Oh, this isn't the movie I'm thinking about.
It's real. I mean, it's kind of cheesy in a way, but also it's good. It's entertaining. I was into it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I would check this. I would watch this.
Yeah.
I think I've seen this. Maybe I haven't.
I think we've talked about it on this podcast before.
Yeah.
But just talking about,
I've seen it.
The gravitational
pull. The moon's
pull.
falling on the Earth.
Because the moon's starting to get closer, and as it gets closer, it's
you and
pulling.
I might be talking about the same movie.
It's pulling more of the wave, like there's big waves now because the moon is coming so close. It's pretty wild. I mean,
I think the movie I'm thinking about had Kirsten Dunst,
mm-hmm.
and she's like real depressed and going through all these problems. But then when the moon starts coming to the Earth, she can handle it better than anybody because
she's a werewolf or what?
Well, she's just already got her own issues.
I'd be interested in seeing that.
So people whose lives are going great, obviously, they're in disarray. But
I just watched
I've never heard of that movie.
All right, well,
I just watched an underwater movie with her. I forgot about this. I watched it because we talked about the oceans, but they they were doing this. The movie opens up where like the explorations they had been doing have gone completely wrong. And they're way deep down and they've been drilling into the bottom of the ocean. And they like opened it up and these beasts came out of the bottom of the ocean. And it's pretty wild. It's kind of boring, but also kind of exciting too.
Yeah.
Kristen Stewart?
Kristen Stewart. Yeah, okay. Not Kirsten Dunst. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Google knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Google goes, people make this mistake all the time.
Yeah. What's
Underwater.
Is that what it's called?
It's called Underwater. I searched underwater movie, and that's what came up. How about that?
Yeah, it was pretty
What's
good.
his movie that he's talking about?
Yeah, look up Kirsten Dunst Moon.
Yeah. That is I don't even understand
the Mona Lisa smile. That's what popped up.
That's it. Melancholia.
Melancholia.
Yeah.
It's an apocalyptic psychological drama, thriller, art film.
Well, I'm into these sort of things.
I know. Kirsten Dunst.
This is good.
Kiefer Sutherland.
It's not what you. Nah, it's a little bit.
I don't even know if I know what I think about it. The way you described it.
It's a more movie about a woman who's dealing with some issues in her life, and then also,
of course, the moon. And then the moon is what
about to crash, and I mean, it's almost like a side plot. Like
the moon is a side plot.
It's kind of like she's dealing with all these issues, and then near the end, the moon is about to crash.
Yeah, here's what a person thinks about. Here's everything she's going through with the moon coming in.
That says a rogue planet. Maybe I'm wrong about the moon.
Although it has detractors, many critics and film scholars have considered the film to be a masterpiece. It was voted one of the greatest films since 2000 and is listed in one of the best films of the 21st century.
Wow.
What's the difference between me and Nate?
You're saying it's bad.
I'm saying for you, it's going to be bad.
Did it say it was a depression trilogy in there somewhere? Yeah, right here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's the second film in the unofficially titled Depression trilogy.
The first one's Antichrist.
Yep, followed by Nymphomaniac. 2013.
Well, I'll skip those, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know about Depression trilogy.
I'll go ahead and mark that off.
Oh yeah,
how could you make a movie someone want to sit and watch a movie just
a Depression trilogy?
Yeah. You got one, yeah.
I watched them all back to back to back.
Yeah.
I could see you watching it and being completely unaffected by it too.
Yeah.
Uplifted, actually.
Yeah. I'm sure if you leave away, your takeaway is like, I think the moon was coming close. Because I don't think the moon or the planet have anything to do with this. It's about her struggles. I can't even imagine. I don't know. Maybe I would have to be confused. Because, like, how could you watch a movie about a planet or the moon hitting Earth and like, just focus on one person and be like, she's like, I'm depressed. I would be like,
can you go to the plot? Or
I'd be, the whole movie, I would be thinking, like, they'd go, then jump off a bridge.
Yeah.
The moon is about to hit us in the face.
Brian,
we have other stuff.
I'm looking at the plot section. I don't know if you could build a movie that Nate would hate more than plot. Part 1, Justine. It just follows this. It follows a dream. It's a dream sequence, showcases slow motion shots of the main characters, a collapsing horse, falling birds.
Oh, a collapsing horse, though.
Yeah.
All right. Write it back down.
Yeah. Well, it's like his dead horse joke.
Yeah.
And also a rogue planet crashing at the end.
The initial inspiration for the film came from a depressive episode suffered by the director. So Brian's like, you got any plans this Saturday? Let's sit down.
You guys want to come over?
Yeah, I'll be watching movies all day.
I'll pop popcorn.
What are you watching? Star Wars? No. The Depression trilogy. Let's get it.
So I understand it. So then it's just her. Yeah,
it's an unofficial trilogy. It's not like an officially packaged trilogy, but it's but it's kind of grouped together by fans. Interesting stuff.
I mean, I would, I think even the name and everything, I just probably wouldn't. Nothing would make me go watch this. And then, why did you watch it?
Keith Sutherland is in this. He's in Moonfall for a second.
Right.
Okay. I think there was a period in my life where I just saw everything going, and it was out, it was new. I know Kirsten Dunst and Kiefer Sutherland, so I'm like, let's just watch this.
Tuesday night, Brian goes, I'm in the mood for an apocalyptic psychological drama thriller art film.
It's pre-family. Pre-family, you don't.
Right.
Do you
consume different art now that you're married with a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Consume no art now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Rachel and Peppa Pig.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. So the sun's getting hotter. It's because it's converting hydrogen to helium. So it's a billion years from now, it's going to be 10% brighter than it is today.
I mean, they shouldn't even mention it. They just should.
Well, there you go. That's sooner than it exploding. So it's going to be unlivable here in a billion years.
Let's brighten it up now. I could go for a little brightness.
Yeah. What's one little notch?
It's not going to be like sliding it up on your phone.
Yeah.
Make it a little
but what's one little notch?
That's what I'm saying.
How high would it be?
Well, they're actually trying to get it cooler. We've talked before about dimming the sun.
Oh, Bill Gates is trying to block it out.
Well, we talked about it in another one. I think a few people tried to like put up chemicals in the air to block it. Well, now
smart.
That sounds good.
No one voted on that.
Yeah. Let's block the sun, the giver of life to all our plants.
Yeah.
Now they've come up with another idea to put up a giant tarp in the air. It's like a parasol, which, just a giant umbrella.
Where they go tie it to?
They're like, as they get up there, we're going to tie this thing
to the mountains.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, can you give us like a synopsis?
Yeah. Well, basically, having one single object like that, like a giant umbrella, is not feasible. So the prototype they're working on now is to have like a bunch of.
Well, I love it's like they're gonna ask us if it's feasible.
They went down a long road before they go. I don't think that's feasible.
Well, what is more feasible rather than one single object is to have a bunch of different, almost like drones, like thousands of them that can take the shape of whatever you need it to be in the sky, and then they kind of come together. So,
like in a stadium when everyone has the signs that they
exactly. Up. That's a great analogy. Yeah, how about that? And you can even sell advertising on it.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking to secure
more commercials.
in the sky.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful morning. You open your curtain.
Yeah.
Nextel.
Nextel.
It's
the oldest reference.
Yeah.
Nextel's not a thing?
Yeah.
Bell South.
Yeah.
Get it now.
Bell South would next. I don't think Nextel. They might have
Purity, sweet acidophilus.
There you go.
Yeah.
They're looking to secure anywhere between 10 million and 20 million to build their prototype. And this is the quote. They said, "We're not going to save the planet, but we're going to show that it can be done." That's what they're trying to do.
Oh, okay.
Trying to dim it a little bit.
It helps.
I think the argument.
I can't imagine we're on Earth and the point of us is to go change a bunch of stuff.
No, I think the point is let's leave. Let's go somewhere else.
Where do you want to go?
I don't think so.
I mean, maybe let's.
But their argument is we are
Mars.
changing stuff in the atmosphere, so we gotta do something to fix it.
We
I
got to
know,
start.
but I
at
just
Mars.
it's just I just can't have a hard time rubbing my head around putting a blanket between us and the sun is what your life is meant to be.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they'll do it, and then it'll crash on all of us, and they'll go, if you had just given up your gas car, then this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Maybe an Afghan, so you can still see some stuff.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Tethered to an asteroid. That's what they're going to do.
Where?
Different teams suggest using an actual umbrella tethered to an asteroid. That's what one team suggested. These are a team of scientists from Harvard and the University of Utah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like you should
Sounds
look
like
at
Michigan State, am I
They
right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
That was they were like, all right, we're gonna go catch an asteroid. We're gonna tie an umbrella
You
to
have
it.
to catch it.
Yeah, you gotta catch it. You gotta go out in
Sneak up
space.
on it.
You go,
Space cowboys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Come
We got to rope it.
Yeah.
gotta rope it. It gets bucks and goes
Yeah.
wild. We're like, calm down, boy, calm down. And then we tie a large blanket.
More like a
Tarp.
sail. Yeah, a tarp.
Okay, a cell
Yeah.
in space. And then we hope it never moves.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how we would do that. I have to read through this report.
That's what I mean. Like, how do you even get this far into having an article without someone in your science team going, like, how are we going to catch an asteroid?
Yeah.
Like, there's, that an article shouldn't say, well, at first one guy said, well, what about an umbrella?
Well, we've landed spacecraft on asteroids.
I know, but it's
Just
just
take a sheet
stupid.
up there
It
with
all
you.
sounds stupid.
In a movie with Bruce Willis?
What do they know? Like, what would happen if you do block the sun? Is that going to be good?
I think they want to block 1% to 2% of it
To do what?
to lower the global warming.
Yeah.
I can't.
I feel
it's like
fine
putting
out
a curtain
Yeah.
on your bedroom. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
One of those kind of see-through curtains where you can still tell what time of day it is.
I can't
What I'm talking
imagine that just doesn't seem like that's the thing to do.
Well, if you accept the premise, which is that it's getting hotter and it's
I
going
don't accept it.
well,
Just play along.
That's the whole point of
Okay.
this thought
Oh,
exercise.
Sorry.
Is if you accept the premise that it's getting hotter and it's increasingly difficult to live here, and it will get to a point where it's impossible.
Mhm.
What's the next move?
I think it's so far that again, like those people will deal with it.
Yeah, I think we just die off.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, maybe it is
Oh,
over.
Yeah.
man. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You guys should watch Melancholia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the dinosaurs had
Yeah,
they had
just
their run.
just another extinction error.
This is the first episode in the depression trilogy of the Nateland podcast.
Yeah.
On here. We got a couple more coming up.
You're
after
not going to have to deal with any of this.
But I'd like to, at the end of my life, look back and go, I did what I could.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you look at a kite in the sky that you
He's professionalism.
You
He wants
gave
to
I'm
do
holding it.
gave
Professionalism.
$8 to? You agreed. They can tie part of it on top of my home. Hey, I got a van out in the driveway. Why don't you tie it to that?
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah.
Get it out of the way.
If it lifts it up, it's fine.
They're trying to reduce solar radiation by 1.7%.
That's man.
So, look, we're not shooting for the stars.
Well, we literally 1 star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Superman got his powers from the sun. Do you know that?
I thought he's from a different solar system.
What if the sun was like, I'm going to just go away?
Yeah.
Why don't they try to move the sun?
The sun is moving. But
So
we're tethered to it. We're moving with it.
Because of the gravity.
Because, well.
But like, why can't we just go like, and scoot over just a little bit more?
Yeah.
Why don't they say
Just
something like that?
nudge our way out of there.
Move slightly. And
Why
then,
don't they go, everybody on the count of 3, push to your left?
Yeah. Like, why is that not the move, though?
That's
Right?
I mean, it's 8 billion people pushing to the
Put
left.
some
It's time
spaceships.
to do something.
Put some spaceships on the Earth
Yeah.
and push it a little out so we get a little further from the sun, and that would cool it because we would be a little further. Just move our orbit out a little bit. That's the move.
I don't think if I pitched that in that meeting, that's it, because I feel like the guy would make fun of us, and I'd go, "You said put an umbrella on it," and then all of them would go, "Well, that makes more sense." I'd go, "I don't understand how that makes more sense," because I'm saying, like, the Rockies get a spaceship, tie something to it, be like, y'all take off. A bunch of spaceships take off, and they just kind of drag the,
just kind of pull it out a little bit.
Just come pull it
Just
out a
little bit.
Yeah.
Just kind of,
we don't need much. Just accidentally, you're going to go probably the perfect amount.
yeah.
You
And
would hate it if it goes, and we're like, golly, now go back up.
Yeah.
Everybody's freezing.
Everybody that way.
Yeah. I think it's a great. I mean, and if it did all freeze, then the oceans will probably freeze, and we just put on some thick coats. We have a little more land now.
Yeah,
we can navigate. We can.
Boy, I was in Florida a couple weeks ago. We went out and paddleboarded, and the ocean, Fort Myers. The sun there was brutal.
Yeah,
it's like you could feel it. I got really sunburned. But it's when that sunburn, it's the sun where you're like, I'm going to be in bad shape.
Oh yeah.
Like, cause it just feels like it felt closer. So maybe.
Yeah. Just put an umbrella.
I thought about that. You know what I did? Set under an umbrella.
That's what I'm saying.
Tied to an
Imagine if you could do
asteroid.
that.
But then the umbrella business goes out of business.
Now, Nate, if your umbrella was big enough to also cover the guy you were playing with, wouldn't you hold it up for the two of you?
What am I playing? I was paddleboarding.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I assumed.
Or
sorry.
canoeing.
I don't know. I thought you were playing golf.
Oh. Would I give him?
Yeah. If you're riding with somebody, if it's big enough for the two of you.
And then he would have one for his, ancestors for 1,000 years from now. So then we're both carry the weight of extra umbrellas.
Right.
Just so our ancestors in 1,000 years, they can't find out that they're related to
Billion
us.
years.
Billion years.
just like Elvis's Mic Man.
Yeah.
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 That's exactly right.
And you hope that then they go, a little Aaron Webber in a billion years goes, you know what?
There have been times where the human species was threatened with extinction. Like there have been, and aren't you grateful that those guys survived?
What were some
Back
of those
then?
times?
Look, dude, the bubonic. I mean, we talked about on this the bubonic plague. We've had diseases. We've had we talked
Wars.
about some of those hobbit tribes that we beat out. Competing for the top of the food chain. Like it hasn't been.
Wait,
I
what?
think they're, I don't.
You remember that, right?
The Hobbits?
Give me one more clue.
They're all those. They're humans. Homo sapiens weren't the only humanoid species. We
now this is a
eliminated-
topic I'm into.
we eliminated other ones. So there's all these fossils that we found of humanoid creatures that humans just came in and just destroyed them. So I'm saying it was never a foregone conclusion that humans would exist. I'm saying you don't feel any kind of gratitude to those past human beings that kept it going. You don't appreciate that at all?
I mean, I think I appreciate it, but I mean, they were trying to stay alive.
Right.
I would never expect. I don't know if I maybe don't appreciate it, but I would never expect them to have been thinking of me. So like it's
There's
one thing
immediate
that
survival.
Yeah, there's a me that you're like, I think it'd be crazy if that person's like, we got to survive this for whatever. You got to think of like in the moment to be like, it's like everything. You want to leave everything better than when you found it is the idea. Mm-hmm. And so you're going to just try to be like, we're just trying to do our best. We're trying to get through all this stuff. But I would never, if they're like, I was thinking about you the whole time, you'd be like, well, what are you talking about? Like, you're not, I don't matter.
Well, where's the line? You care about your daughter's generation.
Yeah, right? I do. I mean, I think about like, the younger generation and the way and stuff goes, and you're like, yeah, it's tough. But I mean, it's like you deal with what you're dealing with, and you just deal with it in the moment, and you hope you're moving forward and it's going forward. And then like, I'm not saying you don't want to leave a legacy or something behind, but it's just a very broad, I think it should, it's like I want my family and my friends, and if you do comedy, I want people to have a good time. There's all this kind of stuff and nice spirited thing. I don't want to go put an umbrella for the sun and then think about people like that. I don't,
Because what if the umbrella is bad and it backfires on us? Like we try this,
put it then. We take it down.
Where are you gonna put it?
What if it becomes devastation? It's like really like it kills species that couldn't survive with that low percentage of sun, and now that species is not around anymore, and that was something that this animal fed off of.
You don't care about the human species at all, but you care about this hypothetical
but we're talking about
species.
It's all hypothetical.
I think it's just, but like but who gets to decide that? Like that's the thing is like when you're going to cover the whole earth, we're all on it. I know, but I mean, you're like that's got to be like it ain't just like, hey, we're going to go do this now. Because you're like, what? You can't just sporadically just out of nowhere go, we're going to do the umbrella thing.
Yeah, you have to get a lot of countries on board.
Yeah, that's right.
UN, I guess.
Go to Poland, see if they want to. I don't know.
Like a real cold country. Like ask them. Like, are you guys interested in potentially getting a little colder?
Yeah, Alaska.
Yeah,
Russia.
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to say?
We're getting a little hot. Okay, you cold countries. You mind if we turn it down a little bit?
It's getting We don't care when it gets to 65. In February. So
we're starting to get a little
warm. Do you mind if y'all have had a hard 7 more dark winters?
Paddleboarding the other day. Yeah. I
don't know if y'all have been to Florida, but the sun feels like it's on top of us down there.
The thing about Florida, this is a thought I had when I was in Florida. Like it was like 90 degrees in the daytime, and then the sun went away and it was still 90 degrees. Where's that heat coming from?
Mm-hmm. You should tell it as a joke.
Well, I've tried it as a joke.
How'd it go?
Mixed reactions. A lot of silence.
Where's that heat? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why? It's like...
Maybe the moon's hot.
Yeah.
I think it's the same as when you turn an oven off, it doesn't immediately...
That's a good point. That's the best explanation I've had.
And then it doesn't cool, but then the sun starts coming back out, and you're like, well, who's turning that oven back on?
Yeah. Yeah, stop turning it on. Where's my umbrella? Well, that's a great question, though. If you had an umbrella in the oven above, but below the coil, would the oven be less hot?
Well, I think the analogy here is like, let's say you put your oven on and it's making the whole kitchen hot because there are holes in the oven door that you've created, right? So now you go, well, let's put up some kind of shield around the outside of the oven door so that it doesn't make the kitchen unlivable.
But do we live in the kitchen or in the oven?
We're in the oven. No, we're in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. So now we got no heat because we've covered the holes.
Well, no. Well, you got heat covered. Well, I don't know.
Anyway, Superman's power comes from the sun. And he's kind of like solar panel. He absorbs it, so he doesn't lose power at nighttime. But if it were dark for multiple days, he would start getting weaker.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Did they ever use that against him?
I think so.
Okay.
Some of the comic books. I think there's been some comic books where he's like, something's happened and he's in darkness.
Could this be why they're trying to do all this now?
You never know.
That would have been interesting I didn't know about that Superman, to put that more in. Like maybe he can't be strong at night. You know? He has to do it all during the day.
Maybe that's Batman's advantage. He's a real nighttime guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
Superman really doesn't have weakness. You know?
Kryptonite.
Yeah, but it's like that's...
Who can get that?
Yeah, no one.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like Kryptonite's not on... It's not around here.
Mm-hmm.
But they mention Kryptonite, but they don't mention he has a couple days of dark. Like, I mean, so Superman can't go to Alaska for 4 months.
Yeah.
I guess not.
That's crazy.
He'd have to take a flight home.
There's a big stretch of the year where you can do whatever you want in Alaska.
Yeah.
Superman can't do a thing about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, when he shows up, he's still got power. So.
How long? I know, but how long does he have it?
I mean, I think he goes for a few days. So even if you've been in the dark for a few days in Alaska, when he shows up, he could still do some stuff.
No, I'm saying there's months at a time where there's
no sun.
No sun.
When's the last time you guys seen that movie? The Christopher Reeves movies?
Never.
You never seen them?
Mm-mm.
You've seen them?
Yeah.
My buddy Derek Humphrey was talking about this, and I just recently watched them, but
Sounds like a guy you made up.
yeah.
It does sound like
Joe Mayo.
Yeah.
But
Dusty's
weird-
imaginary friend that he watches movies with.
Yeah.
But weird that Superman is so into Lois Lane, right? Like she's not that attractive, not that good at her job, smokes a lot.
Well, everybody smoked back then, right?
Yeah, but
You're talking about Margot Kidder.
yeah.
Yeah. What? Amy Adams is the current Lois
Right.
Lane.
I mean, the Christopher Reeve one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like, I'm just saying, it's weird that he's into her. So
I don't think I would have ever known her name. Margot Kidder.
Yeah.
He had a poster of her up.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was my era.
I don't think, I'm not saying she's an unattractive woman, but I'm saying you're Superman. And that's like, this is
she's very pretty.
this is your girl, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he
but
has
they
X-ray
look
vision.
better.
Maybe maybe he thinks more than skin deep. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
She had a lot of spunk.
But it's like he made the point that Superman is so good and moral, but she's not really.
I know that might be what is
Right.
attractive.
That's
Maybe.
what's attractive.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's a little bit of what he wants to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Margot Kidder.
Good for
Like
her.
kidder. Like, are you kidding me?
hmm
He's into her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's still alive?
No. I
Oh, really?
think she had a hard life after Superman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, just
I think alcohol maybe or drugs and
She died in 2018, so fairly recently.
yeah.
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 How old
Oh,
was-
yeah,
yeah.
that's a tough paragraph
Yeah.
right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Mm.
Yep.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yep. Okay. It's tough, man. Wikipedia took a dark turn.
Yeah.
Thank you, Margot.
Well, I'm sorry I said those things.
That's
Well,
okay.
that's okay. I'll say this then.
Yeah. You got to just.
I thought we'd get out on Superman.
What was that?
You know, if it somehow.
What was that ugly woman from Superman? What was her name?
Why does Superman waste his
Yeah.
time?
Why
And
is
it's
he
like,
into her?
I'm not saying she's ugly, but it's just like, I don't know. You're Superman. You're
Maybe
the-
Superman needed those glasses because look at the lady he was into.
Yeah. I mean,
It was an 80s look. It was a different 70s. The
I
first
think
one
she's
was
very
the 70s.
pretty.
I agree.
Yeah, look, you know the
Yeah.
picture. She's very, very
but
pretty.
she kind of disappears in Superman 4, I think, or maybe even 3. She's gone.
I was
Mhm.
surprised some of the
Yeah.
years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe that's right.
Mhm.
What were you gonna say?
Well, I was going to get out on Superman, but since we just went down that road, leap day is this week. The sun, the Earth goes around the sun 365 days a year, but it's actually a little bit more than that.
Mhm.
So that's why we get off the calendar, gets off schedule. So we have to throw in a leap day every 4 years, but not every 4 years. Did you know that?
No.
Do you remember that from our calendars episode?
No.
It's got to be a year divisible by 4, but also I think divisible by 400.
Okay.
So the last time we didn't have one was the year 1900, and the next time we won't have a leap year is 2100.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Mm.
yeah. So happy birthday, Tony Robbins.
I like Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2100. Yeah.
We be around?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when were you born?
Wow, 1991. 109, not a chance.
Maybe.
Yeah, with AI.
Yeah, with all the stuff.
I won't be in this body anymore.
Yeah, that
that
chip.
much.
What is it? Neuralink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get that.
Turn that.
Your conscious will be uploaded somewhere.
Yeah, I'll be on a hard drive
Put
somewhere.
that.
I'll be in the cloud.
The treadmill working.
I'll be emailing you photos. You were like, text it to me. You'll be hitting your Neuralink.
Yeah.
I'll be 129.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it. Let me see.
Yeah. This week I'm in Chattanooga at the Comedy Catch. Thursday. Nice. Friday I'm in Hudsonville, Michigan. Then Vincennes, Indiana. Columbia, Tennessee. I'm very excited to announce this. I'm going to the Pacific Northwest Tacoma Comedy Club, March 22nd, 23rd.
Right.
Haven't been since the Dead Horse with you.
Yeah.
And then that's March 22nd, 23rd, and then 24th, I'm at Helium in Portland, driving down to Portland.
Nice.
So come see me
That's a
there.
fun run.
All right. That's a great club, too.
Yep.
March 15th to 16th, I'm in Lowell, Arkansas at Grove Comedy Club.
All right.
An old favorite. Dusty's pictures on the side of the building.
That's true.
But I'll be there. And then at the end of the month, March 29th and 30th, I'm in Las Vegas at Wise Guys Comedy Club. So come on out to that.
I love going to the Grove. And
great.
Say hey to Bill. This weekend, I'll be in New Orleans at the Joy Theater, I believe. And then Friday, Hattiesburg, Mississippi at the Sanger Theater.
Nice.
Never done comedy in Mississippi. So I'm pretty pumped about it. And I like New Orleans, too. I like doing comedy in New Orleans.
What town is it in Sanger?
Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Yeah. I've done Sanger. Are you doing
No. You talk about the thing that we've done. Yeah. There's a cancer benefit show they do there every year.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
If I am, I've not been told.
Yeah.
I think this is just a show purely for my own selfish profit.
Yep.
And the fans.
Yeah.
And the fans.
No, I am excited to go to New Orleans and Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I think I'm off this week. I could have worked.
Yes.
If I wanted to.
Yeah, that's right.
And then next week I'm in Philly, Albany and Syracuse, and maybe something else, but I think it's that. I want to say it's those. And then April 13, 14, special taping in Phoenix. So if you want to come out to that. All right. We're all back. We love you. Hope you have a great week. And see you next time. Bye. Nateland is produced by Nateland Productions and by me, Nate Bargatze, and my wife Laura on the Audio Boom platform. Recording and editing for the show is done by Genovations Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next week on the Nateland Podcast.